If you are watching this video, that means you stumbled into our beautiful Black podcast, Black woman podcast. This is Hot Combs and Popcorn. Thank you guys for coming and being here. This video is just going to be a little bit of an introduction to who we are, to our podcast, some of our favorite Black things, and why we made this podcast from the beginning. So I'll go first. We're going to do a simple little ASL. Okay, my name is Brianna, and I am 25, which is also a big thing about this podcast. It's Black Zillennials specifically. And I live in Chicago.
And my name is Bobby. I'm 24, and I live in Los Angeles.
And I am Danielle. I'm 23, and I live in Brooklyn.
Okay, we all around. Okay, we scattered right now, but we're gonna see each other in person one day doing this podcast. I'm claiming.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the day that happens, I'll be so excited.
We won't have to be worried about time zones because that
always a thing.
It's been a struggle. But we're okay. We're okay. So, how do we know each other, ladies? Let's get into that.
Oh. Well, we all went to Kent State University, which is in Kent, Ohio. I'll just say how I met people. I met Bobby because we were in the same, what was the name of the class?
It was one of the intro classes.
Yeah. I don't remember which one. But
I can't remember what it's called, but we were in the back row together.
In the back row?
I'm screaming.
Because sometimes I would have to sneak in,
Yes.
It was a little late. So we sat in the back row together, and ever since then, like any projects that we had in that class, we did together, or we tried to do together. And so we kind of bonded because there wasn't a lot of Black people in that class, in the program, period.
Yes,
so,
definitely not Black women. We were probably like the only two in that entire class. Maybe.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah. And then I met Bree through an organization on campus. And, I was kind of like her little mentee for a little bit. And then we just became best friends. And turns out we're also in the same program. So, it was just, fate was really just out there.
Doing its thing. I think I met Bree in the same organization.
Had to happen.
Yeah.
Was it the same year?
It had to happen.
That was sophomore year for us.
Yeah. No.
Oh, no.
Yes?
No.
Yes, because
no. It was yeah. Okay, I'm a grade ahead of them, by the way. Just for like clarification.
Wait.
I'm a grade ahead of you.
Class?
No.
Wait, Bobby, are me and you in the same class?
Yes.
No,
yes.
I graduated high school in 2015. I'm just younger. Age-wise, I'm younger.
Bree, what did
Wait, but how is that possible? Because I graduated in 2015, but you graduated a semester earlier than when you were supposed to.
No, I graduated a semester later than I was supposed to, but I'm younger because I skipped grade.
Wait, did y'all graduate at the same time?
December 20th.
We did, but I didn't know I thought because she is a year younger than me. I thought that she graduated a semester earlier.
No, it was late. But yeah, so we were the same year, and Danielle was under us, I think.
Oh, then it was our junior year.
But I didn't meet you, Bree, until 2018. So like first semester of my junior year. Wait.
Fall 2018 was my junior year.
So sophomore?
No, it wasn't.
Wait
a second.
Hold on. The math is not mathing.
You graduated December of 2019. So you were supposed to be your senior year.
Fall 2017 was the beginning of my junior year.
Yes.
That is when I became a board member of Sister Circle.
Yes.
Which was the organization that me and Bobby
Yes. Because we were on the board at the same time.
Yes. We were both on the board. For the
that was my fall semester. I think that was my second year being on the board because I was on it. Yes. Okay. So I was on the board for 3 semesters. That was my last semester on the board.
Got it. Yeah. I was on the board for my fall and spring semester of my junior year because I took a semester off from being on the board because I was also a mentor, which is low-key kind of how I met Danielle, because while I was a mentor for sisters, while I was in Sister Circle, I was a mentor to incoming freshmen of color. And although Danielle wasn't a freshman at the time, she stood out in the group that I was in, that I was facilitating. And then I was just like, you want a little mentor? Just off to the side. And then we got close from then. And yeah, it would have had to have been Sister Circle that we met, because I didn't go through Cupida as a freshman. So I didn't really meet anybody until I became a mentor myself. Were you a mentor then though, Bobby?
Yeah, I was a mentor.
We probably wasn't in the same group then. I probably didn't know you like that.
We weren't in, I don't think we were ever in the same group, but I was a mentor every year.
So you guys met in 2017?
That's the first memory I remember of Bobby.
Me too. Even though I've probably seen you, but I don't think we really talked until then.
Yeah, because I was ready to transfer, but that was a different conversation. So.
I feel that.
The fact that I stayed junior year is really when I started like meeting other people, but I was a mentor and I was a sophomore. So yeah.
Okay.
We all met one of each other in 2017, but we didn't all know that we knew each other until at least 2018 is what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would definitely have to have been that, because senior year we were around each other a lot, so it had to have been that. We also, so let's talk about our relation to film. So myself, I was a digital media production major with a minor, with a concentration in digital film specifically, with a minor in criminology. And prior to that, I had about 3 years working in live television as a technical director. So for me, I came in exploratory because I wasn't sure if I wanted to be in criminology or if I wanted to do film, but I came to terms with the fact that I'm not going to do anything with a criminology degree. So I was like, let's do film. So I had already had a lot of investment in time into film by the time I came to college.
I did not have any film or TV experience whatsoever. I actually came to college as a fashion merchandising major. I went through it for a whole year and I was like, yeah, this ain't it. So the spring break of my freshman year, I was going through Kent's like list of majors and I was like, TV. I like TV. I like taking pictures and filming stuff and whatever. I could do this. So I switched majors right when I got back to campus. And I was, like I said, I was a TV concentration. So I was primarily doing like news stuff, which, I'll talk about career-wise later on. But the TV concentration really prepared us to work in the news or work like on daytime television. So yeah, that's kind of how I got started into TV and film.
When I was in like middle school and early high school, my friends and I had a YouTube channel, and we used to like make videos and do sketches and just have fun being 11 together. But then high school came, I just completely stopped all of that. I'm truly not 100% sure why. Like I just wasn't interested like I was before. I also had like a really intense boy band phase and they ate up all of my life. So
shout out to One Direction.
Yes, forever. Still a fan. And so
yeah.
That was more mindless behavior, but
we love them too.
Okay, that's fine. We accept everybody around here.
Safe space.
Yes, but then I actually came to Kent with a major in sociology and a minor in criminology and justice studies because I binge watched Criminal Minds and I was like, I want this. I want to be Penelope. But then I realized I don't want to work for the FBI.
I don't do it. That'll
do it.
I realized that when I took my first Pan-African Studies class, and then promptly switched my minor to Pan-African Studies and my major to psychology. And then I got a second minor in like family development and human studies because I thought I was going to be a therapist. And then I was like, well, I don't know what I want to do anymore. And so, shout out to Twitter. I saw a tweet that was like, if you ever want to figure out what you want to do for your career, just think about what you like doing as a child. So shout out to Twitter, because that's when I was like, okay, well, I'll do film, because I really liked doing that when I was younger and I'm good at it. I've always liked taking pictures and stuff. And so that's when I switched my second minor from family development and human studies to digital media production, and then started on the film train. And here I am to this day. Yep, that's the story.
Yeah. So right now, my current association with film is definitely one that's been happening very rapidly and very fast. I graduated, same as Bobby, in December of 2019. And then, a lovely thing called that panoramic, hit 2 months after we graduated. And sad. I don't know how you guys feel, but watching an industry that I just paid money for a degree in shut down.
Yeah.
For who knows how long, which I actually recently watched this show called Assembled on Disney Plus. And it's about how they make all the Avenger Marvel movies. And they had an episode in there with Shang-Chi. And they actually started filming that in July of 2020, which is wild to me. Wow. Very wild. I thought we went back early. So yeah, I didn't know that at the time, but I was like, oh God, I didn't major in business. What am I going to do? And then this internship that I had heard about when I was a senior called Cinecares in Chicago through Cinespace Chicago Studios was coming back, and I couldn't do it because I was in school. You can't be in school for that. And I did it, and I ended up working in props on one of the 3 Chicago shows. Worked on Chicago PD, and that was my entrance into the prop world and working in television specifically. I'm really excited one day to work on a film. But yeah, that's been me. I've been getting like a extreme exposure to film life, to sets, to hours, to creativity, and especially with props. I'm a big script girl. I really used to write a lot, and I'm still trying to get back into that. But that was like how I fell in love with film and stories, was writing my own. So right now, it kind of still feels a little bit out of body. Like I'm getting like a sneak peek behind the curtain when low-key I have a whole union card. So it's like, this is where my life is right now. So I'm hoping to extend that more as time goes by.
So I graduated in May of 2020. Yeah, May of 2020. So yeah. I had to leave college halfway through my senior year. Not even halfway through. The end of the second month of my last semester in college, I had to leave. Couldn't come back. Didn't have graduation. None of that stuff. Didn't have graduation until October of 2021. So there was that. So after graduation, I worked odd jobs. I did retail. I did fast food service, and then I was able, shout out to Bobby, to be a freelance editor for a year for a YouTube channel, which was really cool. And it kind of just made me feel like I was getting back into the industry, even though it wasn't TV, it wasn't film, but like I was still doing something that I learned about in college. So I was able to do that for a year, and then I started working at the top news station in Columbus, Ohio. I was a PA there. I was, behind camera. I did prompter. I did audio. I did some temporary producing. Like I was able to like get my hands in a lot of different things. And I did that up until the beginning of this month, actually. And then I was like, you know what? I'm moving to New York. So I wasn't going to move to New York until the beginning of May. But then I was able to get a kind of a contract job with NBC to work for the late night shows. So that is currently what I'm doing. So I kind of had to move within a 3-day notice. So I kind of dropped everything, packed up all my stuff, and moved to Brooklyn where I'm at now. So I'm still, figuring it out. I like working here so far. I had my first day last Friday. And I'm just, figuring out what I want to do. I am open to so many different parts of like production when it comes to TV and film that I don't have a set thing that I want to do, but I'm just, really excited to continue doing film and TV. So, yeah.
Amazing. I currently am in film school. I'm getting my MFA from USC School of Cinematic Arts, baby.
Period.
I'm in the film and television production program, which is only slightly ironic because I have not disclosed this yet. I'm actually thinking of currently transitioning out of production, but in focusing more so on events planning, culture, art, and film, and like the intersection of those three. Yes, I didn't realize that there were other options for me until like January, because truthfully, I have been feeling for about like the past year and a half or so that production may not be my jam. It may not be my ministry, but I still like film and I like working in the industry and I really love watching movies and I don't want to leave that behind. So I've been trying to channel different ways to still interact with the industry, whether it be like film programming, like for theaters, for film festivals, or like event planning still for like theaters, large theaters, like drive-in theaters, stuff like that, possibly even a little bit of film curation in there. I really like the idea of use of space. I'm really good at organization. I'm really good at planning, and like all of that together mixed with film is really exciting for me. However, I'm still not opposed to a freelance check. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I have skills that I have developed because my focus and concentration is cinematography. And that's what I like to do. And I'm good at it. My favorite thing to do on set is to be first AC. I'm a big fan of pulling focus. I don't know what it is, but it gets me going. Like it's a thankless job. Like no one knows when you get it right, but everyone knows when you get it wrong. And so something about me loves the challenge. So that's my thing. So hire me.
Okay.
Period.
Available. I'm available.
Yes. Bobby knows.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pretty sure Bobby was one of my camera operators.
Oh, I was
on my senior project. They both worked on my senior project. Danielle, I believe, was an AD. And I believe Bobby was either the DP or like first camera, something like that. And I was a director and producer.
I think I was camera A.
Camera A. Devon was camera B.
One of those two, but yeah, I operated for a television show that we did this past semester for school. Like we shot 3, it was like a straight to series class. So I operated and I was first AC for that with like professional like cinema cameras, which was really cool. And that's when I realized like how good I am at it. I'm sorry, not to toot my own horn, but
Come on now.
Yeah, so that's currently what's happening. I graduate in May 2023, so I have another year here to figure it out because graduation is knocking on the door. And I don't know. I'm just kind of just trying to figure it out, like you, Danielle, we're here and we're in the space we have the tools necessary. But I just feel like I'm still young and I have plenty of time to just go out there and explore. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're starting off from. Great jumping point.
Love it.
Yes.
It's a great setup. It's a wonderful time. I must say, focus pullers seem like the chillest job on set. I'm gonna be honest. And it looks like a fun time. It looks like a fun time. Obviously, I work in a different type of set where it's not like live. Yeah. But you were like scripted TV. Was it scripted like
it
TV
was scripted, but I also done it for a couple shorts as well. And I will say I did art department last semester. Okay, I was a production designer, and that is not my ministry. It's not it for me.
It's different.
They work a lot. And it's like, it is so intense, especially when you don't like, sometimes like camera gets funding, but it's like, but then like there's scraps left over for art department, but it's like, how do you want a set? How are you going to shoot the set with no money? You know what I mean? So from that, I realized that I feel like a lot of cinematographers get the credit that production designers deserve, because why else would the set look that amazing if it wasn't designed to look like that? So that's what I learned from working in the art department. But as far as like working on set for camera, you got to fight to even get a bathroom break. Like you got to fight to even get a water break. To get freaking gummy bears from Crafty, like someone has to deliver that for you. Like we be working as far as like focus, like the rest of the role is like you build the camera, you do all the camera settings, you make sure that the SD cards are labeled properly, make sure that everything's working with the camera, you change the lenses out, clean all the filters. So like it's very technical, like highly technical, but I like focus because you have freedom to be a little creative depending on your DP. Like I was, when we were doing like the opening title credits, we were on a macro lens and the DP was like, just find something that feels good to you. And I was like, okay. So I like that freedom of it all. It's really interesting. So, that's it. We'll see what happens. That's all I got.
I love that. So do you want to do the fun fact now, Bobby? Or since we're doing icebreakers? And then we can get into our favorites about the industry.
Fun fact. I can say the alphabet backwards.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
I thought you were waiting for her to do it. I was like,
oh.
No, that was like the last thing I was expecting her to say.
I wasn't expecting
no thoughts on my fun fact. So
that's the best one that I got. I don't know anything else that's fun.
My fun fact, me and Bobby low-key have the same name.
We do.
We were convinced that we are cousins. Okay.
Not for real.
I think we might be because my grandmother wanted to just add an S to our last name. Our last name was Broom until she was like, I think we should just add an S. And that's what they did. So we might be cousins.
So we could be. And like that was right after I took a DNA test, okay? And I was really trying to trace that lineage. I'm like, okay, so where's your family from? Like right. An island or something? Yes, I share a lot of DNA with island people.
Okay, and my family is from Barbados, so
Okay, my DNA is very similar to Bermuda, but you know what? It's fine.
It's close,
It's close enough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As hey cousin.
Right.
I love that for y'all. Yeah, didn't really think about a fun fact about Bria. I usually just default to tattoos because all of my tattoos are in places where if I was wearing what I am right now, you really wouldn't know that I have tattoos. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Fun fact. What would be? Oh, I do have a fun fact. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I can lucid dream.
Ooh, that is fun.
I can tell when I'm in a dream, and if I get tired of being in the dream, I can wake myself up.
That's impressive.
That is impressive.
I think it comes from having a lot of nightmares. But
yeah,
at some point, I realized that I can lucid dream, and I realized that ability, it just happened recently. What is it? Sleep paralysis?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can push myself out of sleep paralysis. It just happened recently.
Oh,
it was crazy. It was a crazy time. I wish I would have said lucid dreaming from the beginning, but I did it last night. I forgot that I did it. But yeah, like I can tell when I'm dreaming a lot of the times. And if I'm just like, okay, or if the dream is getting too like emotionally charged or whatever, and I'm like, I don't want to be in this dream anymore, it's very much a That's So Raven sensation. And I can wake myself up out of it. When I had my sleep paralysis thing, I think it happens a lot when I sleep on my back. That's usually when I experience some type of sleep paralysis, if I experience it. And it was crazy. It was kind of like, you know how like in movies when people's souls come out of their body type thing and they're like fighting through? That's how it felt. Because I could feel that my body was sitting still, but I could feel myself trying to wake myself up, and eventually I did. So
wow.
Yeah, I learned how to lucid dream maybe like 10 years ago.
Wow, that's intense.
It's crazy.
That's a good fact. That'd be like my party trick, you know?
I know. I wish I would have said that from the beginning.
Now all your glass is out there.
Because it's one of those things where like I don't think about it unless it's happening in the moment. But if like some stupid shit is happening in my dream, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm dreaming. Like, yeah, I'm dreaming. I'm ready to go. And then I wake up and I be out of the dream. So very useful for nightmares. But yeah, that is my fun fact. So let's get to some of our favorites. Because you know, this is a great thing to do. So I want to just kind of go down the line. What is our favorite, maybe Black movie, Black TV show? What's a favorite for us? If I had to say, I usually don't have a lot of favorites, but I watched Us a couple of times, and it holds up every time. I didn't say it had to be yours. I'm just saying.
Well, I ain't seen it, so.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's why we're here.
Like, this is a safe space.
That's why we're here.
It's a safe space. Yeah. I'd have to say Us. Favorite TV show? I'd have to point out my age and say That's So Raven.
Okay, that's a good one. Good pick.
Yeah.
I was a TV concentration, so you know I gravitate more towards television. So my favorites were A Different World and Sister Sister. Those are my like top two. I will watch them anytime, all the time. Movies, not necessarily like, I don't have like really good like cinematography is great, blah blah type of movie, but like This Christmas is probably one of my favorite Black movies. Like, it's just a feel-good movie.
Solid choice.
Yeah. Good choice.
Thank you.
I have thought long and hard about my favorite Black movie. Currently scrolling on Letterboxd right now, trying to figure it out. I'm gonna go with Sorry to Bother You, though, with Lakeith Stanfield.
That was a wild ass movie.
That was wild.
It checks all of my boxes. First of all, Lakeith is fine as hell. Okay.
Speak to
Second of all, it's Black as hell. Third of all, it's clever. It's smart. I love the satire. I love that it's just so ridiculous that it, I don't know, just the scene in the party scene when he's like rapping to all those white people. I lost it. So yeah, that's probably it right now. Subject to change though. That is very much subject to change. My favorite Black TV show. Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. My first thing was Insecure. That was the first thought. But then I also thought about Black Lady Sketch Show.
Okay.
True.
Yeah.
You're not wrong with Black Lady Sketch Show.
Yes. And I definitely had a girlfriend's era, but I stopped at like season 3 or season 4 because I watched it for the first time last year, and some of the jokes just were not, they didn't age well, and it got kind of boring. My 22 years of age at the time, I guess. But I was here for Tony.
See, that's kind of how I'm at with Moesha. I'm trying so hard to get through Moesha, but I'm just like, some of it's not funny. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, the humor for certain shows just doesn't hold up, which is sad. You know, it was only good when it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna say. But I'm also gonna throw in Lovecraft Country.
Yes, we love a Lovecraft Country. I'm gonna have to change my answers, and here's why. Because Us is not really a Black movie, and I want to. Us speaks more to my love for Jordan Peele as a director versus it being a Black movie. Because Get Out was his Black movie. Us, he says, is just a horror movie, so I'm gonna respect his feelings about his movie. I think it just speaks to him as a person.
Yes.
I will have to say, if I have to say my favorite, and I'm sure I do have other like favorite Black movies, but if I have to really think about it, Moonlight deserves to be at the top of that list. Because first of all, Trevante Rhodes. I mean,
yes, number one.
Just keep it a buck, okay? The Lord knew.
He knew.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We love Mahershala.
Yes.
The cinematography was great.
Beautiful.
Alex was great. I don't remember his last name, but the kid who played the first version of him.
Oh yes, loved him.
It was just the cinematography along with the story that it was telling, for it to be such a story that so many like Black boys go through, is just, it was there. It's there. It especially with the redemption arc of La La Land versus Moonlight. I mean, really. Like the amount of memes that came from that like day, I gotta give it to them. And then I do say that's So Raven because Raven was the first example I really got of someone who looked like me, who was acting the way she did, as far as her personality and being her. I mean, come on, Raven Simone, Cheetah Girls, you're not touching it, like
at all.
You're not doing it. I will say, I don't know, I kind of feel like if we're talking about TV shows that like should be favorites but don't really hold up, I kind of feel like the Parkers still hold up. Because the Parkers really made a joke out of itself. So it's always a joke. Like it's Monique's, the jokes that people make about Monique is always like, it's more purposeful. Like how The Office is meant to be laughed at. I feel the same way about the Parkers. I'd have to say the Parkers is, I've been kind of rewatching that recently. I have to say it's pretty up there. Like it's just good. It's good, funny 90s, early 2000s. Like, yeah. So I'd have to definitely change mine to Moonlight. I still stand by that. So Raven, Lovecraft Country, I stand by it.
Yes. I would also like to change my answer.
Hey, that's what we're doing at this point.
I scrolled past The Harder They Fall and I remembered. Lakeith is also in this one.
You know what?
And I loved it. Yeehaw agenda. Nothing's touching it. Nothing will touch it. All-star cast. Good plot. We love a plot twist that makes sense. Plus, it has the action. It has a shootout that I love. And it's just Black as hell. And I just think that you do not have to constantly be saying the N-word to make a good Western. Come on.
Now we're not gonna add no names, but
we know
that word
Arantino.
That word does not equate Western, but you ain't hear it from me.
You know what I'm saying? And there was a scene at the very beginning when there was this white man that was about to say, he was like, "You low down dirty," and then Regina King cut him off and was like, "And we ain't no nincompoops either." I said, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm just highly passionate about it. I fucking love it. So yeah, that's my final answer. The Harder They Fall.
can I throw in a movie since you just made me think of this person?
Yes, I'm excited though.
Okay, because I had to make sure I wasn't tweaking it. I had to go to the IMDb just to make sure. Delroy Lindo, as an actor, is in The Harder They Fall, which also takes me to The Five Bloods. And as someone who reviewed that movie on my own YouTube channel, The Five Bloods, come on. If you don't feel feels in The Five Bloods, especially during Chadwick scenes, you just don't know. I don't know what you're watching, because I'm watching my tears come out my eyes right now. That's what I'm watching. Okay. I just had to throw that out there. It also has Jonathan in it. We love Jonathan. But as far as like movie making, like Spike, I mean, come on, like Spike Lee he's done what he's needed to do. But for his like new era of movies with The Five Bloods,
Spike has left it all on the table. And can I just add one more, because you just made me
I mean, we're here. You add two, Danielle, because we're here now.
Yes.
We're here now.
I'm gonna add Black Panther.
Yeah.
For the fucking culture. I mean, at that point in my life, I had only seen like 2 or 3 Marvel movies, both Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a shame.
And then Black Panther. I have since gone back and I've seen all of them now. But at that point, I was going to see Black Panther. There was no question. And it did not disappoint. It hit every single note for me. Every single one. Apart from just being a good movie, the cast, Angela Bassett. Like,
come on. Everything she touches is gold. Everything she touches is gold.
Come on. And so the fact that it was like a superhero movie as well, like I was a little hesitant about superhero movies. I have since seen the light. I understand now that I was playing myself. But damn, that was, and the whole thing with like Michael B. Jordan, like being the villain, but he was also kind of right.
Oh, hey, auntie. Come on, hey, auntie.
Hey, auntie. You know, like they really just shut it down, and they deserved all of the praise that they got for that movie, period.
The cast alone, Forrest Whitaker was in it, like.
Yeah. Plus, like all the homages that they paid to traditional African cultures was perfect and well executed. So
shout out to
Ryan Coogler.
Come on, Ryan Coogler.
Him and his whole crew. Like, that was a for the culture. That had people who wanted to wear dashiki print question if they could wear it. That's how much they wanted to be a part of this movement.
Yes.
I will say, like, Black Panther definitely made me get more into Marvel. Like, I was not into Marvel like that. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh, so I got to go back and I'm going to watch everything now.
Was I the only Marvel girl before Black Panther?
I mean, I watched all the Thor movies that were out at that point.
Thor's my fave.
But other than that, I didn't really see that I can think of.
Okay, well, next favorites. Who are some of our favorite actors? You know, some of my favorite on-screen talents. Because
I gotta get back to Googling again. Let me open my letterbox, because
I could go first then. I can go first. I could name a male and a female, but we just gonna name the female right now. Viola Davis. If you want beef to talk, ain't no Viola slander. Okay, I know what's happening right now on Twitter.
But that's not even her fault.
Don't talk about that, because that's Black people's business. But what I will tell you, I ain't taking no Viola slander, okay? If you need to see Viola act, okay, first of all, Viola carried Suicide Squad. She was in there for 5 minutes.
Oh, I forgot she was in that movie, but she did a good job.
She's the one good thing I remember about that movie. And that says a lot, because there was a lot about that movie that made me not want to watch it again. But if you want to see Viola act with a T at the end, Fences. That's the movie you need to watch, because I was ready to fight. I don't care what nobody said about her little snot dribbles. There will be no Viola slander. There will be no. I am a Viola stan. And if you got a problem with it, and you got a problem with Juvie Productions, we can talk about it in the back. Like, If she could be in the Black Panther universe, I'd be just the happiest person in the world. Like, Viola should be protected at all costs, and that's how I feel. That's my take.
Period.
Yep.
You got a man?
Do I have a man? Let's see. Well, do I have a man? That's the question of the day.
Well,
Cool. That's
I kid.
oh my God.
I kid. Favorite Black male actor? It would probably, if I just had to think like offhand, if I had to think of like greatest actors that transcend like race, culture, it had to be Denzel. Had to be at the top of that.
Yeah.
Also in Fences, if you want to see him act, he gonna piss you off. But if you want to see him act, watch Fences. I mean, even I can't wait to watch Macbeth on Apple TV.
It's so good.
Yeah, like I'm not really like a big like Shakespearean type of person, but Denzel he can't do no wrong. And his way of being outside of an actor, just like as a person, watching interviews, talking about how he talks about his wife. I mean, look at the great son that they've created, who I'm sure has the same values as them. Like, I mean, if you doing Denzel slander out here, you're really risking your life. So I don't even need to explain. Like,
okay, because when I typed in Black actors into Google, who was the first one that came?
Who was at the top? The tip top. What y'all talking about? That one tier? You ain't beating that one tier.
Okay. Right. Okay, so for female, I have two that are like, if they're in it, I'm gonna watch it. One is Regina King. Because I love Regina King.
Very good.
I feel like there's no role that she cannot do. So that's one. And then the second one is Angela Bassett.
Come on.
I'm gonna just leave it at that. That's because there's really nothing else to say. Okay, she be doing what she needs to do.
Again, Angela's one of them people. If you slander her, you risking your life.
Okay.
And that's just on period.
Because Angela done lit up clothes in houses in movies.
Like an icon.
Like an icon. She has been a mama. She has been an auntie. She's been everything. And I will stand beside her until the end. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Those are my two female actresses. Actors. Probably Samuel L. Jackson.
I was about to say him, to be honest, because if you haven't seen The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray on Apple TV, go watch it.
Apple TV hasn't gotten me yet. I'm afraid to fall down that rabbit hole because I know they got some good stuff.
Just fall. It's okay. Just they have good stuff.
They do.
They have good stuff. Wow. What about you, Bobby?
Well, this is really hard. I've been scrolling this entire time and scrolling up and scrolling back down. Mm-hmm. So Angela Bassett, she's everything for me. I mean, every role that she does, like I still haven't had the chance to be her from American Horror Story Coven yet, but it's like for Halloween, but I'm planning on that outfit one day. Mm-hmm. But anyway, she's just amazing. Angela, she can do no wrong, but Zendaya.
But Zendaya.
That's my girl.
Rocky Blue.
Yeah, I see the potential for a superstardom. You know, she's already like a household name, kind of, but I could see her like just really skyrocketing, and I'm really excited to see that happen. So yes, her. MJ Rodriguez, because Pose had me in a chokehold.
Yes.
A very intense one. And now I just want to see it all. Give me all the content. Yes. So ladies, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, I'm also gonna go with Jonathan Majors because again, I see the potential for superstardom. I see the potential for Denzel level of stardom for him. And I want that for him. I'm gonna also say Wesley Snipes because I mean, he's really good.
Watch the podcast.
Watch the podcast because I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil. I almost did.
Watch the podcast.
But I'm not going to. So yes, Wesley Snipes. Also, wait, because I forgot. I want to add Atlanta into my favorite shows, and because of Donald Glover.
I still haven't.
I feel it. I gotta catch up. I'm so behind.
I'm on season 2. I just started watching like a month ago, but I feel like Atlanta is going to be one of those shows for me that becomes my entire personality. So yeah, that's where we're at.
I love that. So let's do one more question before we get into the bread and butter of how this podcast even came about. Favorite Black director or crew member in the film and television industry? Now, for me, I'll definitely have to say Jordan Peele, because I'm a big horror fan. I love it. I love Key and Peele. Like, his mind is something different. His mind is something that I think a lot of people are going to try to replicate, that are going to probably fail at, but that's an icon right there. That's a legacy right there. You make people want to make better films, and I feel like that's one of the best like honors that you can have. If I have to say a female, just came to mind, Issa Rae.
I was so second.
Issa Rae, bro. Like, Issa, no slander. That's how I feel about it. Like, she does too much for the community. I mean, Insecure is a cultural reset. My car is named after a character in Insecure. Like, Insecure is it. Like, it was the thing. It's still the thing. It's gonna be one of those like TV shows that I think people are gonna go back, or just like how Friends has their like 20th year anniversary type thing. That's what I want for Insecure. Yes.
Give us a 5-year reunion.
Come on, give us something like that on top of her Ray Productions. Like, she does so much stuff on her YouTube channels. She does so many like interviews. She actually manifested herself getting the key to the city, and she got it in real life. Like, I don't know. Issa in her acting as well. It's just, I can't wait to see her as a Black Spider-Woman. Like, it's gonna be a great time. And then probably also shout out to just some of the few women that I know in the industry, that I've been able to meet. Brenda Gilbert, who is the co-owner and creator of Bronze Studios. Bronze Studios makes so much great stuff. If you don't know, go look. They're behind some of your favorite projects. I love it. She's a team with her husband, and they really do a lot as far as being like people of color and really trying to like make changes, especially how crew members feel, especially crew members of color. That's a separate topic for a separate podcast, but crew members of color go through completely different experiences in the film industry. And I love that. Also, Kim Coleman, she's a casting director. Casting is something I really have an appreciation for. And I got to talk to her, and she is one of the people who was behind casting the Cheetah Girls, which is one of my all-time favorite.
Cheetah Girls?
Yes, she's done a lot of stuff. She's a Black woman in casting. She's like the person people go to. I just have to give a shout out because sometimes, you know, we get lost in the wayside of like big names because you're not a director or producer. Shout out to her, and shout out to Sheila Brown, because she created the internship that got me into the industry. So those are my favorite people. Issa, Jordan, bam.
You made a good point with Jordan, because after he did Get Out and Us, they made that movie Karen, and then they also made Them. So,
which I didn't watch and won't be watching.
You shouldn't. Just skip it.
Planned it. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. So Mine is kind of maybe stealing one of Bobby's. I'm not sure.
Still, sis.
I gotta steal.
We for everybody.
Salim and Mara Brock Akil.
Oh. Yes, Mara.
They make so many things, and like honestly, I didn't even realize some of the things. Like I would just go onto their crew list, and I would see their names, and I'm like, I didn't know you made it. Like I didn't know you produced or you direct or whatever. Like I didn't know that. And so they did like, well, okay, I'll talk about him. He did like Jumping the Broom, The Game, Sparkle, Black Lightning. Like they've done so many different things. And then she did Girlfriends. Well, I think they did. She created Girlfriends. Hold on, I gotta go to her little page or whatever. She was a supervising producer for the Jamie Foxx show. She wrote for Moesha for 4 seasons. She did Being Mary Jane. Like, there's so many different things. So, like, I'm like, I didn't even know. But, like, yes, y'all did that. And I appreciate it. I was also going to say Issa Rae, because, like you said, Insecure. And that's it. That's all. But also, like Issa's acting in different things, like the movie that she did for Netflix, which I cannot think of the name of it.
Oh, The Lovebirds.
Yes. It was funny. Like, I know that it didn't get like great reviews or something like that, but I thought it was funny. It was cute. It was wonderful. So
she's also great in The Photograph.
She was great in The Photograph.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. I have thoughts about both of those that I will keep to myself.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Oh man.
Oh. She was good, but the plot of The Photograph I'm just not a romance fan personally. So
okay.
I didn't care that much.
All right.
That's
safe space.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway. My favorite Black directors. Once again, Jordan Peele. I mean, he changed the game. When Get Out came out, it was a literal cultural reset. And everything that Brie already said is 100% true. Jordan is the man. I'm also say Spike Lee only because out of all the Black directors I've seen most of his. I think I've only seen like 8. He has like 43 or something, but I've seen like 8 of his movies. I like his style. He hits the mark every time. They're entertaining. And he's legendary. He's done a lot for the culture, and I appreciate everything that he's done. Also, oh shoot, where'd it go? Dee Rees directed one of my favorite movies, Pariah, that I just love, and I just feel like she deserves more credit. She's also done episodes for Empire. When Empire was hot, it was hot. We know about the fall off, but we don't got to talk about it. When it was good, it was good. Okay.
Take that away from them. Period.
So I'm gonna throw in Ryan Coogler because I mean he's doing big shit out here, and also Issa for the same reasons that have already been mentioned. Like she's a force, and you can tell that she cares about every single project that she's done because it shows in the quality of the work. Like she doesn't let anything slip past her, and she's just constantly working. And I'm rooting for everybody Black.
Same. I say that now.
Every day I'm about to buy a sticker and put it on my laptop. I found it off of Radical Dreams pin. Shout out them because they got some good shit. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say for them. Kim Coleman is a really good one. I wasn't even thinking about her, but she's done it all for the girls.
Yes.
She has. Yes. She really has, and she continues to do it. So she definitely deserves all of her flowers. I'm also gonna say Bradford Young. He's my favorite cinematographer because he did one of my favorite movies ever, which is Arrival. It's a sci-fi movie that tricks you into feeling, and I just love it.
Okay.
It's just very good. And so he shot that. He also shot Selma, which is okay, but it looked pretty.
It's about how it looks.
It's about how it looks.
It's about how it looks.
So yes, he's just amazing. He's done a lot of shorts, a lot of documentaries, a lot of TV movies, and he also did Pariah. He shot the short version of Pariah, and then he shot the feature length. So him and Dee Rees, like the link up. So yes, him. And I'm also going to shout out Ruth Carter for costume design because she deserves her flowers. She's been out here working and just recently got her accolades for Black Panther, which I love. And I'm also going to shout out Hannah Beekler, who also got her Oscar for Black Panther in production design, her first nomination and her first win. And production design is hard. And they be working. And so I just appreciate everything that she did for that feature and everything that she does moving forward.
Okay, I do have to say two things.
Okay.
I gotta shout out two people. Hair, you just made me think about somebody. Kim Kimble, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Kim
Kimble?
Yes.
Let me tell you something, ma'am. Them wigs that you told me was wigs on Euphoria with them two dudes, fool me. Had no idea. She's also been like extremely influential in like music culture and like Kim Kimble. Got to give her flowers. I'm so glad they gave her a little like bit at the end of Euphoria to talk about it because that's the only way we're gonna know about this if someone talks about it. Also, just a shout out to like her as an actress, director, all these things. Michaela Cole.
Yeah,
She is, if you don't know Michaela Cole, I was introduced to her by Black Mirror.
Yes.
But she's also the creator of Chewing Gum on Netflix.
Yes.
And I believe Chewing Gum is on HBO now, but I recently watched her newest show, May I Destroy You. And it is, or May Destroy You. I May Destroy You. It's definitely, should definitely be a trigger warning, especially when it comes to like sexual assault. But the way that she made, especially that last episode, she wrote it, directed, produced it. I feel like there are a lot of people who slip through the cracks, like I said. She is one of them that I've watched for a minute now, and you can tell how the quality of her writing and everything has matured, and you can just tell she puts a lot into her craft, and it's just, and I feel like I'm obviously not from London, I obviously don't have a British accent or anything, but I feel like she does something for culture over there as well. There's a lot of stuff that culturally us Americans don't know about what happens when it comes to Black people in other countries. And I feel like she represents a lot of that as well and gets that a lot of mainstream attention. So I just had to just throw her out there because May I Destroy You, I May Destroy You really messed me up last episode, but that's what it's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that. Do we have any other favorites that we want to throw out there before we get to how this has come about?
I don't think so. That's what I can think of. I'm sure I have a bunch out
there. Michaela Cole is a good one that I wasn't even thinking of. Not right now, but you know what? I feel like as we continue to make episodes, we'll be shouting people out.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I also just throw a shout out to Robert Townsend and watch our podcast to know why I said that. That's why I have to feel that way. Okay, so this last question, it's really a simple, any of us can wrap it up, but what made us want to make this podcast? Specifically, literally how we got here, and just individually why making this podcast was important. So let me just explain right now the content that we have on our podcast. Is watching Black content that we should have seen already. Mm-hmm. So all of us as millennials / Gen Z, and all of us wanted to expand our reservoir of knowledge when it comes to Black movies. So that is what the page is and the channel is and the podcast is about right now. So anybody want to explain how this podcast actually came to be?
All right, so boom. I was on Twitter.
What an intro.
So boom.
I was on Twitter and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a little thread of just, reviewing movies that I haven't seen before that I should have seen. And the first one that I did was Casablanca. And is that what it's called? Yeah, Casablanca. And Bree comes under my tweet and she's like, that would be a good idea for like a podcast, but like Black movies that we haven't seen. And I was like, I haven't seen a lot of Black movies. That's a good idea. And then Bobby came under the tweet and was like, wait, I want in on this too. And so then we took it off of Twitter. Took it off of Twitter because we didn't want nobody to steal our idea.
Right.
So, and we quickly got a name. Well, not quickly, but
in its own time.
It's its time, yeah. We got the name, we got the idea, we have a lot of ideas. We got a lot of ideas. And hopefully, we can get them to come together. But it really started from Twitter and me just being tired of being out of the loop. And people being like, you haven't seen this, you haven't seen that. And I'll be like, yes, I have. And what of it? So that's where it came from.
Yeah, I would lie. Because honestly, if you know the bare bones of something, people don't question it. And I've actually seen a lot of clips from a lot of things and have just never seen the movies due to like meme cultures and stuff like that. And so like I didn't really grow up around like cousins and stuff like that. So there was no reason for my parents and older people in my family to show me some of these movies, especially when half these movies is like gunfights, but we'll get there later.
Yes. Right.
There was just no incentive on me watching these movies, so I just never did. And I was just like, it was an idea that I had thought about for a minute. And I was just like, I saw that tweet and I was like, this is perfect, because I knew I had not seen a lot of Black content. And I think I might have known Danielle has not. We've had some conversations about things that we have not seen. But I was like, it'd be really nice if we can do a podcast, because I feel like, example, I know how to play spades. But you don't get to learn how to play spades when people are playing spades.
You don't.
And I'm sorry, it's the culture. Like, if you make your partner renege, you out of there. You ain't never gonna have a partner again in the rest of your life. So it's like that. Like there really is no safe space for you to talk about certain things of Black culture, especially if you haven't seen certain things that everyone thinks you're supposed to see. So I was like, it'd be cute, if a podcast could be done, because then we can talk about it, and then we could also open the conversation up for people our age who also haven't seen those things.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
I can agree. I grew up as an only child, and I didn't grow up with cousins.
Same.
And I grew up watching Disney movies and Nickelodeon and TLC and Animal Planet. That was it. So
it's go off Animal Planet, because come on.
Animal Planet had hits. They had hits. Animal Cops. They had The Most Extreme. They had Dogs 101, Cats 101.
Dogs 101.
It used to go. And so that there wasn't much room for it. I didn't really grow up watching BET either, or VH1 for real. So like I missed out on everything. And I didn't realize I was missing out until I went to college and actually got some Black friends. And I was like, damn, I don't know shit. And this is the people who raised me. Why weren't they showing these things to us? Okay, like why? And I was telling my dad that I was doing this, and he was like, you haven't seen this? I was like, you didn't show it to me.
Like we couldn't control the VCR. We don't know what's going on.
Right. So I was sick of not understanding the references. I was sick of not being like laughed at, but feeling shamed because I had never really seen like Friday or something. And it's time to take things into our own hands and reclaim it and do it together. I'm not going to disclose some of the other ideas that we have, but I will say y'all are the only two people that are into some of the other shows that I watch. You know. So, and whenever I try to talk about it with other people, they're just like, oh, I don't watch that. And I'm like,
look,
you just don't get it.
Let me tell you something. I might have been watching Black content, but I've been watching TV for a long time.
Okay.
I've been watching TV for a long time. It really, the other day, me and mom was having a conversation, and it made me realize how long I had been watching TV. So like, do y'all know that the Made in Georgia like sound used to be a song, right? Like with words.
I'm not on TikTok. Is this a TikTok reference?
No, Made in.
No. You know, like it's
like
Georgia. You know, like the.
Mm-hmm.
At the end. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, with the logo. Okay.
Yeah. Well, like recently they took the words away from it, so you just hear the sound. You just hear the. But like me and my mom was talking about it, and I was like, yeah, that used to come on off or something, and I like sang the song, and she was like, that has words, and I was like, yes.
Not you teaching yourself.
I was like, what do you think the sound is off of? She's like, oh, I just never thought about it. And I was like, wow, I've been watching TV and reality TV for a long time.
Really took it off.
Yeah, it don't say Made in Georgia no more. It's just a little tune, and you'll hear it at the end of everything. But
wow, I never noticed that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Bobby. I was a Disney kid. I was a Cartoon Network. Like, I was watching kid things when I was a kid. Yep. And honestly, I'm not upset about it because our generation specifically had the best child content. Nobody is touching the era from 2000 to like 2013. No one's touching it. Like, and that's just TV. We ain't talking about Pixar and Disney. So I was watching kid things like I should have been outside of horror movies, and I wasn't watching Black content. But that's what we make this podcast, to catch up and to learn without getting our Black card revoked.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're trying and we're watching.
Yeah.
It may be late, but we here. It's getting done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm hoping
it's just a good idea
that other people who are in the same position as us can watch with us and discuss with us. And we wanted to make this like a safe space. So even if you are someone who is maybe like older and seeing the movies, or is our age and seeing the movies, we're all watching it from a different perspective. We're not watching like, I don't know, example, Boys in the Hood. We're not watching it as an 8-year-old. We're watching it as like adults, you know? So we're you know, just kind of putting our own perspective on it and just seeing how we like it. So yeah, any more thoughts, ladies? Did we get all our favorites out? Any special mentions we need to throw out there?
And special mentions. Proud Family. That's my special mention.
But have you been watching Proud Family?
You said what?
Have y'all been watching the new ones? Because I just kind of noticed on Twitter, like everyone was like, yes, Proud Family, we in it, gang, peanuts, all that. And then it dropped and I ain't heard nothing else about it.
I didn't even know that they made a new one, but I'm not watching the reboots. I'm skeptical.
I watched like 2 episodes and then I forgot about it. And then, I mean, it just, to answer your question, no, I am not watching it any longer. We may have to, you know, talk about that, but
yeah, I haven't watched it. I didn't ask because I had watched it. I was just wondering because I'd never really heard anything else about it after it dropped, and I was like, man, that's hype for you. That's hype culture right there. Like, they got renewed for a 2nd season.
Did they?
So, somebody's watching it.
Wow. I mean, I guess.
I don't think it's for us. I think people are remaking a lot of stuff with the assumption that 25 and 30-year-olds are going to watch it. But nostalgia is not enough, I think.
It only works when the characters age as well, like Raven's House and the iCarly reboot. Like, people were actually jumping on it because they talk like we do. Like, you can't make a reboot that's still like for children.
Right.
You know,
yeah. You know,
because she's definitely the same age. BB and Cece are still in diapers. So it's like,
I would love to see a BB and Cece spinoff, but they're like 25.
Right.
Because what are they doing now? I need to know.
yeah, I agree. I don't really feel like, I feel like Raven's Home works a lot, even though they like got rid of the daughter. I don't even know if her son is a twin anymore, to be 100% honest. That ain't my business. It's back on and people love it. And it's actually a really cute show to watch, even as an adult, because Raven is still Raven, and you can they have Devon on there. It's a great time.
Devon? They have Devon?
Devon is her kids' parents.
Oh, wow.
Her and Devon got married, and they got divorced, and that's how she had the twins.
Y'all don't understand how much I was in love with that man when That's So Raven came out. I was just like, that is my man. Like,
I feel like, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all this off camera. We're not even going.
Okay.
We're not even going. I'm gonna just store that thought until we're not recording no more. But that just made me think of something, because that would be really cute. But no, yeah, I agree. iCarly works really well too. Yes. I didn't even know it got fun fact. So when I was working in my internship, I was working like 12-hour days, 6 days a week, or 5 days a week. So I wasn't really like watching stuff or keeping up with Twitter. And I had made a tweet that was like, man, I hope iCarly gets renewed, right? Never checked the tweet. And I make my tweets like I don't get notifications from people who I don't follow, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if I retweeted her thing or what, but the Black girl from iCarly saw it.
What?
And she was like, it's okay, boo, we got you. We already renewed. And I was like, and I didn't see that till like 2, 3, 4 weeks after I made the tweet.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
And she retweeted it. She was like, oh, we got you, boo. And I was like, when did this happen? Like,
oh wow.
Everybody in the comments was like, girl, it's already been renewed. Like, hey, I work. Like, I didn't know. Yeah. So, well, this was fun.
It was.
It was fun.
I feel like this was longer than we intended it being, but
it's definitely past.
It's got to be at least an hour by now.
It's past the timer. Yep, timer just going at this point. But hopefully you guys learn a little bit more about us, and you get a sense and feel of our personality, and it makes you excited to watch this podcast, because we are excited to make it. So,
if you made it to the end,
and shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Just comment if you made it to the end, because
hold on, let me see. Let me do some research. Is there a comb emoji? Put the comb emoji in the comments if y'all made it to the end.
The comb emoji? Define.
I know it ain't no hot comb. I ain't even about to try to pretend like there's a hot comb emoji. But is there like a hair tool comb emoji?
No, I typed in comb and this is all that came up.
People?
Yes.
Why did people come up?
No results.
Is it because I would think at least a little emoji with the girl getting her hair done?
Okay, when you type in hair, this is what comes up.
Just put popcorn emojis in it.
Okay.
just put some popcorn in the end of the comment, because we don't have our life together, and that's going to be a quality theme of this podcast. So yeah, but again, I've been Brianna, or Bree, as I've also been called.
I've been Bobby.
And I've been Danielle.
And I hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and you enjoy the rest of our podcast. We do have episodes coming up, and we're super excited about them. So please follow and subscribe to YouTube and Apple Podcasts for Hot Combs and Popcorn Podcasts. And we'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Bye.